Hello. Welcome to the vlog number 9. And in this one, you might see a familiar sight, which is my cubes with eyes. I gave them a little pose there just for entertainment value. Just kind of quickly pose them up. But what we've done here is we have our eyes set up. And now is the time to put them on the characters. Spoilers, they're already on the characters. Believe it or not, setting up rigs in a separate armature and then trying to merge them into pre-existing armatures doesn't always work that well. So it took some trouble. So as you can see, I had my bear here. I'm just gonna reset the pose in here to a neutral pose. We have my bear, so we go into object mode. Gonna delete my cube. We just have my eyes. Now you might think, great, time to put the eyes onto the bear. You might think that. That's what I thought too, because I thought to myself, my eyes are working just as I want them. All the controls are up. I'm just gonna put them in the right place. There they are, right in the perfect place on the bear. And then I'm going to select this rig and select this rig and go object and go join. Whoa! As you can see, things are blown up. Or what if I take this object, apply all transforms. Oh no, that blows up my object. Object, apply transforms to delta. Okay, and then we go like this, and then we go object, we join. Oh, it blows up again. Okay, well, things aren't really working. Well, in fact, believe it or not, what you have to do I think there's my duck. Which I pulled off my rig, pardon me. There's my duck. I want to get these eyes in the duck. Well, what I actually have to do is take all the geometry and disconnect it from my rig. So what I did was I grabbed this, I went into pose mode, framed it out, revealed my controls. I would move my eyes in the position I wanted them for the duck. Often they are more spread out. I would actually move them at the same time. Let's be clear about this. I would move the top level controllers like that, so they're moving at the same time. I'd make sure everything was moving. Alright? And as you can see, even right now as I do this again, there we go. Eye spec visibility. So I move my controllers in the right place, and once they're moved in the right place, if I try to, again, pose, apply selected as rest pose, it breaks my things there. Just kind of go wacky. So for better or worse, and it also breaks them object mode. So what I would do is I would just shrink my rig to the right size, fit it on the character in the right place. I'm not going to go through the entire process here, but just in case somebody was building a rig and trying to join rigs, it does come with some technical difficulties. So I would bring it here. I would object, apply transforms to deltas. All right? And then before I join my rig, I would go to my object mode, and I would essentially apply my armatures in all of these cases. If I just remove it, it's going to shoot out of the right location. I would apply my armatures. I would shift P and keep transforms, basically removing all the parenting. And I would do the same with my I, shift P, keep transforms, right? And I'd remove everything, all the connections that I made, and then I would, after all the connections are removed, then I would join the rig together. I would go object, join. As you can see here, of course, this eye didn't mess up because I broke the connection to the rig before I joined it, and same with these, stayed in the same place. So once I was done that, then I would have the rig joined. I would go back in the pose mode. I'd have to take my controls and they look like they're broken, but they're not. They're just it's just the visualization of the controls is broken. So I'm in pose mode, I'm in the controls, and the viewport, and I would just turn this back to 0, and that returns it to the point it should be. I have to do that with all my controls. You can see these controls are all out here, return them to 0. These eyes out here, looks like they're also broken. As you can see, just by even me doing this right now, you can see that I went through a whole rigmarole to get these connected correctly. It was quite an adventure. I'm even teaching it bad now. All I gotta say is, if you're working on a project like this, save different versions, name your versions. Make sure you do a step. You can go back to a previous version. And be patient, because often things aren't really broken. It's just you haven't connected them in a way that's working for what you're trying to do. So for a minute I thought my entire rig setup was completely broken. I was like, this is completely broken. Everything's broken. There we go. Controlled that back to 0. They're in the right place again. As you can see, it looks like it's broken. These are just bendy bones. So 0.002, you just got to shrink them into a size which is not covering up your thing, because whenever you join two rigs, it looks like the rig you're joining to has different transforms than the rig than the rig you've attached it to. So it looks like the system automatically makes the transforms sort of the same, but obviously it also makes it different enough in the way it's viewed. Dude, like honestly, I'm not sure why it joins like that. I wish it just joined and worked properly, but it doesn't. I was able to fix it. All these things here are my joints with my stretching joints. These are my deform eyebrow joints. They're squished up because when I joined it, all my stretch twos stopped working. So let's go into my deform eye groups, hide the deforms. There are my stretch twos. So my stretch twos, I just need to go into here, go to original length, press the X, and that will shoot all my stretch twos back. Same thing here at the bottom of my eyes. Whenever I use a stretch two constraint, I have to go in and set the original length correctly so it works. So as you can see, it's not broken. I just basically it's like a jigsaw puzzle. It's been taken apart and you're putting it back together again. Is essentially what's happening. So yeah, let me warn you, it is a bit of a, and of course the these bones here need size changes. Yeah, as you can see, you can imagine how frustrated I was when I first opened this up and tried to merge them. But after about a day and a half of work, we'll go to open recent. Don't need to save that file. That was just an example file. We have all my characters here. I've laid them out because all the eye controls are now on them. Let me switch to the colored mode. The eye controls are now on the characters. I cleaned them up, I got them working. They have all the features that the other eye had. But they're on my characters. They work with the character's head. So as you can see, as you adjust the head, the eyes follow along as they should. We have two sets of properties, a body property and now what I call face properties. We can change the eye style. We can add the spec. Specs can be added back on if we need to control them. Can be done easy peasy. Just for visualization's sake, let's just take off the wireframe. There we go. We have the character and he has, you know, more or less full eye control. I use lattices to put it in place on the face there. All characters have the same control with the eyes as the bear. Eyelids optional, of course. Eyebrows optional, rather. Depending on, you know, what the animation calls for. And there we go. That's where we're at. Everything else is working as shown before. So the next step with these characters now is just to rig the mouse and then add a couple to the ears and the nose. And then the character rigs are done. And my next step after that will be working on the texturing, working on the lighting. I'm just going to throw the lights back on here and throw the lighting on. Just as a reminder that I have a basic toon shader on here with some lights. But I'd like to go in more advanced and get a really good look on here, add some, paint some detail on the characters. I want to add a bit of fake shadows in certain places, a little bit of AO baked in there, get a nice shader on there, hopefully a nice painterly effect. But that will be the next step after I figure out the mouse. I had planned to make a video every week, and I still plan to, but I actually will be starting a new job on Monday, so things might get a little busy. So this project, which is basically over the last year of unemployment for me, has been me working many hours a day to figure this out. It's going to go to probably 4 hours a week, 5 hours a week, which is still quite a bit. But I think, I'm going to do a few hours on the weekends, and during the week I think I'll just focus on my job. But hopefully, now that I've learned the basics of the software and I kind of have a idea of where I want to go, hopefully I can get some good progress while not working as long. So expect some videos from me still. And thanks for watching this update. I'm going to cut it short right now. There's really not much else to say other than if you're following along and you have any comments you want to throw them down. This has been the process of the vlog. It's really just meant to sort of catalog how things are going, where we're at. So yeah, once again, thanks mostly to my mom and my sisters and my brothers and my wife for watching, because they mostly watch, but in reality I doubt they watch that much because it's just a vlog about my channel. Well, I think that's it. This has been a short vlog, probably longer than it should be, but short enough. Anyways, have a nice day, and I'll talk to everyone soon.